Incoming!
For today's cup of coffee, that's the theme. And I tried to get youngest kid
I ain't doing
to
it.
do the vocalizations. Anything else he would have done. I don't know why. He just wants to be contrary today.
I'm in a foul mood
He is in a foul mood. What do you mean today? Today. We're going to be talking about something that's going on present time that is very much going to more than likely impact God knows when. Mm-hmm. Maybe immediate, maybe a few years off, but
maybe
yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, could be. When I heard about this the other day, and it's like, you know, I hadn't validated it, so I went ahead and did the research today. And yes, indeed, this really did take place. And from Spaceflight Now by Stephen Clark, this happened on November 24th, 2021. NASA spacecraft blast off an experimental mission to divert asteroid. I'm sorry, I'm escalated. To divert asteroid.
Okay.
And he writes,
from what?
A small NASA space probe blasted off from California early Wednesday aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket on a first-of-its-kind mission to change the orbit of an asteroid, pioneering a technique that may one day be used to divert an asteroid off of a collision course with Earth. The $330 million Double Asteroid Redirect Test, or DART, mission is taking aim on a stadium-sized asteroid named Dimorphos. And Dimorphos means two forms. Next September, the spacecraft will slam into the asteroid at a speed of roughly 15,000 miles per hour to knock it slightly off course.
Well, damn, they may have just caused that one to, like, come towards us one day.
Scientists will use telescopes on Earth to measure how much the collision changes the orbit of Dimorphos around its larger companion asteroid named Didymos, which means growing in pairs. The data will allow scientists to determine how effective a kinetic impactor spacecraft might be against another asteroid that might pose a future threat to Earth. DART is humanity's first planetary defense mission, part of a new NASA division established to find, characterize, and potentially protect Earth from asteroids in our region of the solar system.
They could have just caused that one to, like, come towards us eventually.
Elena Adams, DART's missions systems engineer at Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory, which developed the mission for NASA, states, DART is a technology demonstrator.
Okay.
We are demonstrating a variety of technology. The most important thing that we're demonstrating is the ability to impact an asteroid, end quote.
All right.
And Thomas Zurbuchen, head of NASA's Science Mission Directorate, has stated, what we're trying to learn is how to deflect a threat that would come in. Rest assured that rock right now is not a threat, and it will not be a threat before or after. Of all the near-Earth objects we know today, none of them are a threat within 100 years or so. So why? Why? Then, this is actually from July 10th of 2021. And this is by Ben Turner of LiveScience. He has written an article called China Wants to Launch Asteroid-Deflecting Rockets to Save Earth from Armageddon.
Okay.
Chinese scientists are planning to fire more than 20 rockets into space to divert an asteroid impact that has a small chance of one day ending life on Earth.
A small chance.
Their target is an asteroid named Bennu, a 85.5 million ton space rock that is on a track to swoop within 4.6 million miles of Earth's orbit between 2175 and 2199. Although Bennu's chances of striking Earth are slim at a just 1 in 2700, the asteroid is as wide as the Empire State Building is tall, meaning that any collision with the Earth would be cataclysmic. The Chinese plan follows a similar yet slightly more costly past proposal made by the United States. The NASA plan, called Hypervelocity Asteroid Mitigation Mission for Emergency Response, or HAMMER, would send a fleet of 30-foot tall spacecraft with battering rams to bump the asteroid off course.
Dear God.
NASA simulations suggest that 34 to 53 blows from HAMMER spacecraft launched 10 years before Bennu collides with Earth would be needed to shift the asteroid.
Wow.
Now,
God.
Bennu is a B-type asteroid, which means that it contains high amounts of carbon and potentially many of the primordial molecules present when life emerged on Earth.
Well, they literally just put that into the atmosphere.
NASA already sent a spacecraft called OSIRIS-REx in pursuit of samples from the asteroid. OSIRIS-REx arrived above Bennu October 2020, floating above it for long enough to collect loose pieces from its surface with its 10-foot arm. OSIRIS-REx is expected to return to Earth with its spoils in 2023. Now, Long March 5 rockets are the workhorses of China's space program, completing most of the deliveries to the China Space Station and launching Chinese probes to Mars and the Moon. Now, the rockets have caused concern in the past due to their uncontrolled re-entry to Earth. In May, the 22-ton section of a Long March 5 rocket fell to Earth, either burning up or landing in the sea near the Arabian Peninsula.
We love that.
In May 2020, fragments from the previous March 5 rocket were believed to have crashed into 2 villages in the Ivory Coast.
Dumb fucks.
Now,
leave the shit alone.
With the rabbit holes that we have been going down recently, what have we learned?
When they fuck with shit, shit happens.
Absolutely. And that anytime the government of any place tells you that they're doing something, that is not really what they're doing. Now, to emphasize this, from the website Insider by Frank Olito, from April 4th of 2019, 7 times humans attempted to save the planet but actually made things worse. And such as, number 1, daylight saving time was meant to conserve energy, but recent studies show that it does the opposite.
No shit.
And in 1784, Benjamin Franklin created the idea of daylight saving, and the U.S. implemented it in World War I. The plan was to reduce the number of hours we use light and therefore reduce the amount of electricity we use. A 2006 study in Indiana proved that it actually cost the residents over $7 million in electricity bills. Turns out the plan reduced light usage, but did not account for the increased use of heating and air conditioning during the extended periods of light. Lack of forethought.
Yeah.
Number 2.
I wonder if they're ever going to, remove that now. Since finding that out.
Are you kidding? For some reason, our nation will see something that failed in other nations and go, we can actually make it work. I've never understood that.
Never.
I mean, we have a great country. I love our country. But it's like we have been eat up with the dumbass now. And I think that has to do with public schools. Lack of teaching kids rational thought, critical thinking skills.
Lack of parents teaching kids.
Lack of
critical
parents,
thinking.
period.
Yeah.
But so right now we are just swimming in a sea of dumbass. Mm-hmm. But these were done by dumbasses before us. Okay, number 2, in the 80s, plastic bags became popular because paper bags, we were told, destroy trees. And there was this whole propaganda campaign. So they started making the plastic bags. And that started in the late 70s when they were first introduced. And then the 80s, people were told that paper bags harmed the environment and led to deforestation. But plastic bags were actually cheaper to make. So what was the real, Mm-hmm. So, now we got all these plastic bags everywhere. Guess what? They're harmful. There is something that is called the Pacific Trash Vortex, which is a large bundle of plastic that's there in the ocean, which has destroyed a lot of the ecosystem. I'm not going to say the ecosystem because, no. And it's killed many sea animals because they think that it's food.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Trees are renewable. They're
Yeah.
a renewable, sustainable source of many things.
They are.
Number 3, Americans tried to save the declining population of monarch butterflies, but their attempts only killed them faster.
Yeah.
In 2015, the North American monarch butterfly was named an endangered species after herbicides killed its habitats. In an attempt to save the butterflies, millions of Americans planted milkweed because it was believed that the insects used this weed for sustenance. Well, it turns out there's 2 different types of milkweed, and the gardeners planted the wrong ones. And the milkweed that are important to the monarch butterfly, they usually die off in the fall, which gives them reason to migrate south. But the kind that the gardeners planted didn't die on time, so the butterflies hung around and they died. They froze to death.
Yeah.
Okay, that was 3. Number 4, an island in the Pacific attempted to save the fish population by accidentally increased fishing rates. In 2009, a Pacific island attempted to curb the fishing industry and stop the problem of overfishing, and the government gave residents an incentive to pick coconuts instead of fishing, to subsidize the coconut oil industry, because that has been a large industry of recent.
Yeah.
So, in other words, they thought that there was a larger financial benefit to picking coconuts, and if so, the people would stop fishing. Nope. Fishing increased by 33%, decreasing the fish population by 17%. What happened were the people were getting paid more to pick the coconuts, which meant that they were able to work less, and with their free time, they fished.
Well, shit.
Okay, number 5. In the 50s, an ecologist thought killing elephants would stop deforestation.
Ah.
And ecologist Alan Savory, or something like that, believed that elephants in Africa, that they were causing deforestation because he believed that they were stomping on the grasslands and turning them into deserts. So this ecologist convinced other scientists that this was true, and then Zimbabwe's government killed 40,000 elephants over a few years.
Now they're endangered.
Turns out grasslands need wildlife to survive.
No shit.
And the movements of the elephants actually help keep the grasslands healthy.
No fucking shit.
Number 6, environmentalists attempted to save coral reefs by dropping 700,000 tires into the bottom of the ocean off the coast of South Florida. That didn't work so good.
No.
Okay. In 1972, 100 boatloads of tires were dumped into the ocean off of Hugh Taylor Birch State Park in South Florida. The project was called Osborne Tire Reef, and it was meant to be an environmental way to get rid of rubber tires. The plan was that the fish would be attracted to the tires and then the corals would grow. but barely any coral grew. And then pieces of the tires broke off and killed the coral that was there, destroying the natural reefs nearby. In 2015, divers attempted to remove some of the tires from the ocean floor, but thousands still remain. Kids just sitting here with a very angry face. And number
What the
7,
fuck is wrong with people?
And
My God, do they not understand how to take care of the land whatsoever? These are these people in the big cities who don't know their ass from the hole in the ground. Oh my fucking God.
Wait. No. This is what happens when people trust the science.
These are people that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. That's the same people that say, oh, don't kill deer. Well, guess what happens if you do not weed out them once in a while, even if you eat them?
Wasting disease.
Yeah.
Number 7, and then I will let you rant, because I will rant too. When a small island off of Scotland tried to save the local bird population, they did so by killing all the rats. And so then the rabbits went everywhere, destroyed everything. Back in 2008, the small island of Canna had a mouse problem. The rodent infestation was causing a decline in the island's local birds and was harming the ecosystem, or so they thought. That's the big brains thought that. The island brought in exterminators from New Zealand, which cost over $600,000 to kill over 10,000 rats. Eventually, the rat population disappeared from the island. Okay, with its main predator gone, the rabbit population dramatically increased. The rabbits burrowed under archaeological monuments and destroyed them. Gardens were destroyed. Most of the crops were useless. People had never been around rabbits because they may be cute and fuzzy, but let me tell you something.
They eat everything.
They are a rodent. And they are just crazy. Get this, they encouraged residents to try and to kill and eat more rabbits on the island. It did nothing to curb the population. That's why they talk about breeding like rabbits.
You want to know what actually saves, the planet and such like that? Leave it the fuck alone.
Live in harmony.
If you pick something, plant it back.
Yeah.
If you cut down a tree, plant another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you kill something, like if you need food or whatever,
right.
Wait a while.
Well, it's a matter of harvesting. You harvest certain animals the same way you harvest crops.
Uh-huh.
Even as far as crops, you are supposed to rotate what you plant.
Yes.
So that the different crops will put the nutrients and stuff back into the soil. Mm-hmm. People have not done that either. And that's the reason that a lot of times the soil is becoming deplete. They're having to use chemical fertilizers, different things like that.
Which just kills the planet even more.
Well, it just... And the thing is, the planet, people are like, the planet's alive. Yes, the planet is alive. But let me tell you something. Anybody who has ever watched the Earth reclaim it happens remarkably quickly.
It does, and it's glorious.
It's like this. Humans are put here as caretakers. Mm-hmm. Supposed to be. But now you've got these people that their whole thing is that their attitude is that, it's a cult. It is a green cult that they think that humans are a plague on the planet. No, we're supposed to live in harmony with things.
Yep.
But as far as humans being a plague or whatever, no. But it's a matter that you've got these people that have no clue. And most of them won't listen to the indigenous people. People that have lived there for hundreds or thousands of years.
Yeah. And
yet they don't want to, take advice from them because you've always got these people, they think they know better. And
it's always the people that think they know better that don't know shit.
Well, a lot of times...
Always.
Well, let's look at some of these recent movements. And, you can't cut down the trees. You can't cut down any of... So what do we got? We got wildfires absolutely out of control because they wouldn't let them burn the undergrowth.
Yeah.
Because people didn't know what the hell they were doing. That's just one thing.
Well, I can understand, like, control burning. Why not just, cut all the trees down and then, use that wood?
You don't have to cut them all down.
No, I'm not saying cut them all down. Cut the ones that they need down.
Well, that's the whole thing about harvesting. And around here, we have Christmas tree farms. Mm-hmm. And what happens with those, they plant them at different times because they understand that it's going to take so many years for them to mature to where people will want them or use them. And so they rotate what they cut down for this year, they will plant back, and then they'll go to the next field and different things like that. Mm-hmm. It's really sad because instead of people buying, and this was an industry in this area, one of the few. And what has happened? People go to Walmart, they buy a plastic tree.
Which is worse.
Which is made in China. So they knock local people out of being able to support themselves and their families. Mm-hmm. So there's lots of things. There's little forethought.
And like those trees that light up, guess what? Some of those things are faulty because they're so cheaply made. Guess what happens if it's faulty? You have to toss it out.
Well, yeah, and then where does that go? More landfill, all this stuff. I'll tell you something. That's one thing. Is it Aldi's? Is that the little grocery store?
Yeah.
They have the option of paper bags. Mm-hmm. I love the paper bags because you can use paper bags for many things, especially craft projects.
Guess what? You can also use that for fertilizer or something. Yeah. Compost. You can use that for compost.
Well, I have known, as far as the people...
You can just simply lay it out in the ground and let the rain dissolve it. And guess what? It goes back into the earth.
There was somebody that was growing earthworms because earthworms are vital to far as whether things grow or not.
And guess what? People are going to be like, oh, we need to get rid of all the earthworms. And guess what? That's what makes the ground. That gives rich dirt.
Sure. I mean, big money for the earthworm casings because as far as the nutrients and stuff. But anyhow, this one lady, what she was doing, she was shredding up like newspapers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that they could consume that. Earthworms are pretty cool. They really are. But when you've got these people that live in urban environments and they have no clue, they think that they know because they watched a YouTube video. That is not how that works.
I honestly do think, the internet has its upsides. But are those upsides worth it?
Well, it's a matter if
there's so many other downsides to it that is starting to outweigh the good.
Okay, just you can't get rid of the internet as far as that. It is a matter of teaching people to be discerning, teaching people critical thinking skills. Mm-hmm. That's just like to find out, is this true, is this not? Now, the one that we just read about the dude that was wanting the elephants, he convinced other people. We have that going on now, that you've got a handful of scientists. This is something that has aggravated me for years because it is not true scientific method in a lot of cases.
No.
It is a matter of they start with the conclusion that automatically is going to skew your entire experiment.
Yep.
And that's like confirmation bias is what it ends up being. And so we have got so much bad science, and then you've got the talking heads that they go out there and they're going, oh, this is how this is. But when you've got other people, the whole point of science is to be able to replicate an experiment and have the same results. That is, that gives validity to the experiment. There's a lot of times that experiments have gone on for years. Nobody went back, tried to replicate them. The times, often when they have been replicated, they found out, it doesn't always work like that.
Yeah.
So, do we know stuff?
Fucking dumb.
Well, I don't know if it's a matter of that they're dumb. They don't have a forethought on some of these things.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah, but hindsight, when you go through something, and we have gone through lots of them. Go back and watch our Mad Scientist, part 1 and part 2. You know, and it's like, that's horrific. And that's stuff that's been done down here. Now they're going to start screwing around with things up there. We don't even have a clue. We don't know enough to ask a question about that shit.
Like, it's fine if you want to land on the moon. That isn't going to affect it.
Well, and then also, this is what's being told to the public. What is the real reason behind this?
Like, if you want to land on the moon just for the hell of it, go right ahead. But don't fuck with it.
Well, you know, and you had to wonder if this is going to be one of those butterfly effect things.
Oh, it definitely is.
So I'm concerned.
Because guess what? They more than likely shot those asteroids right in the direction for us.
That would not surprise me.
It's gonna be the fucking Dinosaurs Part 2, the sequel, the remix.
It could be.
We're all gonna go.
Well, not all. There's always a remnant left. There is always a remnant left. But even as far as them finding different things on these asteroids, that stuff, we don't know whether it would or would not be contaminated, whether it would or would not be either beneficial or detrimental to human life down here.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, why, instead of worrying about what's going on up there, why don't they deal with some of the stuff that's going on down here?
Why don't they actually fix poverty?
Well, it's like this.
You want me to tell you
why?
The starving people.
You want me to tell you why? Because they don't want to.
But they're people too, and they need help.
Absolutely, but when you've got those that think that they are better than others, and that only they have the right to live, and that everybody else is expendable, that's what I'm talking about. This demonic agenda that hates humanity and wants to destroy it. Yeah.
Did you know? You know, abuse. You know, the legal system with abuse. Did you know mental health, like mental abuse, is not counted in that?
Right.
That is fucked up.
Hey, I had a kid that, as far as reported that to Child Protective Services, because what the stepfather said to that child was horrific.
Mm-hmm. It's just as valid as physical abuse.
That they told me that was not actual abuse. And then a couple of years later, there was a parent that had said something not even anywhere close, and was actually kind of joking, but actually told the truth during what they had said. That parent actually got a child abuse. It was a mild one, but he got a child abuse charge because of what he said. So yes, I'm very well aware of how fucked up the system is.
Like, fix shit like that. Don't fuck with anything else.
Well,
Don't fuck up there in space. Don't fuck with the Earth. Respect the Earth. Respect the atmosphere. Respect outer space.
But that's what I'm saying, that you have got some people that, honest to God, that they believe the Earth is a deity.
It's not a fucking deity.
No.
We take...
But these...
It literally should be like a take and give, like a trade.
It's supposed to be a symbiotic relationship, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And it's one of those that when you've got people that want to destroy other people to save the planet, and it's like, no, that's not how that works. That they honestly view a tree as having more importance than a child. We've seen that lately too. So it's a matter of balance and harmony. It is a matter of living with instead of taking over, learning from instead of claiming that you know everything.
Mm-hmm. That's like, for example, if someone dies, don't get one of these fancy ass caskets that cost thousands of dollars. Wrap them up in a sheet, toss them in the yard. Toss them in a hole in the yard. There you go. You get to feed the environment. And it's healthy. It's it's a healthy way.
It's the cycle of life. I actually was in chat last night, and somebody had made a similar comment about how, something has to die in order for us to live. And that was my response. That's the circle of life.
Yeah.
But and we have been prevented from playing our role in that because we are supposed to go back into the earth. What we are made of can go forth and help nourish other things.
Because it's an organic material.
It is. We are we are biodegradable.
Yeah. I'm perfectly fine with that.
And that there are people that have this weirdness about that bothers them. So we're screwed up. Mm-hmm. We are just this, yeah.
It's like with bones, okay? If they don't degrade, grind them up, use them as bone meal.
You can. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with going back and collecting them, putting them. A lot of cultures put them in the ossuaries and stuff, and they keep them. Personally, I think that cathedral that they made with the bones, magnificent.
It is.
Was it in Russia?
I don't know, but it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
The catacombs, even though they're eerie, they're beautiful.
Well,
I enjoy the look of them.
Right.
I don't know why people think that death is such a morbid and disgusting and scary thing when it shouldn't be.
Because
the only people that should be scared is the people that have done fucked up shit in their life. Those are the people that need to be scared.
Absolutely. They don't, because a lot of times people
that have done fucked up shit and don't even acknowledge that they have done fucked up shit.
What they do, they are afraid of their own mortality because a lot of people believe that this is all there is. So there you go.
I may not be the most eloquent of what I say, but guess what? It's still true.
I never said nothing.
No, I'm talking to the people out there who may be like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He cusses like a sailor. Well, yeah.
Well, you're a 22-year-old kid. You what is it, Gen Z?
Yeah, Gen Z.
I'm Gen X, so, yeah.
Like, it's just another word to us. It really is.
Well, and that is something that people are, there's a time and a place. We put an adult language warning on our thing. Mm-hmm. Our people know how we be. We just real. This is us.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, incoming possibly. Oh, God. Watch your heads. Keep your ass on the sky.
Please take me away from this earth. Take us all away from this earth.
Well, anyhow. So, if you have had experiences with the paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, falling space debris, cryptids, anything like that. If you've got local, regional, family myths and legends, everybody has stories about stupid people.
That reminds me of this one person. I even told you about it, that they were like, robbing the planet of its riches.
Don't even. He looks like he's going to scream into the microphone. No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I knew he was escalated. I didn't know this one was going to escalate you like this.
Because it's stupid. I have a load, there's funny stupid, and then there's just...
honey, it's the season. It's the planetary alignments. That's the reason, as far as if you study astrology.
They're so full of shit, the toilet's jealous.
Anyhow, if you've got some kind of rant that you would like to share, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. Just, kind of chill out. You need to get you some chamomile tea.
I need
all
to go
that good
eat.
stuff. Yeah, it's probably what it is. His glucose level has dropped and he's got the grumpies. Thank you for sharing coffee with us today, sharing some time with us. Know that you are appreciated and loved, and we're grateful that you're on the planet.
Yes.
So, we'll see you on the next cup.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe.
Bye. Incoming.
Son of a bitch.